This is Lunar Yoga in 15 minutes, and today we're gonna be tapping into the energy of the new moon in Scorpio, which beautifully aligns with what's happening in nature. This is something that I always do for our classes and programs. I look outside and see what nature is doing. So at this time of the year in the northern hemisphere, of course, nature is wilting. This is an invitation to turn inward. Earth-based people in the past noticed the same thing. And that's why at this time of the year, we are celebrating Dia de los Muertos, we're celebrating Samhain, we're celebrating Halloween, all these celebrations where the theme is darkness and death and the invitation to be transformed, just like nature does every year in spring, right? And we experience this as well. After a long period of darkness, we come out of it feeling renewed. The body part that Scorpio rules is the pelvic floor. It's such a taboo part because it's the area where we conceive, we also give birth, but we also release what the body doesn't need. And at the same time, since it carries all this cultural taboo, it also carries a lot of energy. So we're going to be tapping into this inner energy, inner power, just bringing awareness to this part of the body to awaken this energy within ourselves and hopefully help us navigate the darkness in order to feel transformed and renewed. I'm Camila, and I specialized in creating room for inner listening, bridging the gap between the whole you, mind, body, and soul, and the rhythms of nature. Let's get started. Okay, let's start now our breathing technique. We're gonna be doing something similar than in our previous practice in the waning moon in Leo, where we're gonna add the rhythm 1-2-1, meaning we're gonna duplicate the retention of air. I duplicate the time in the retention with air. So we're gonna do like this. So close the eyes. Let's settle in the position, in the practice. Starting to perceive the air coming in and out. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in, counting 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 8 seconds. And exhale in 4. Now let's do it again, but we're gonna add another layer, which is during that retention with air, counting 8 seconds, you're gonna contract the pelvic floor. So breathe in, counting 4. When you're counting 8 seconds with the lungs full of air, you're gonna contract the pelvic floor, the area that Scorpio rules. And if you're doing it correctly, you will feel the energy rising right from the base of the spine towards the crown of the head. And then release the contraction and count 4 seconds to exhale. And we're gonna repeat it just like that for another minute, breathing in 4. Retention with air, we contract the pelvic floor layer by layer, from the outer layer to the inner layers, perceiving that energy rising. And then you exhale, releasing the contraction and releasing the air in 4 seconds. Next time you breathe in, we're gonna finalize here. And we're gonna use a block today. It can also be a pillow, a foam roller, a bolster, whatever you have around. I'm gonna use it in the shortest height. Well, first let's lay down facing up, and then once we're here, we're gonna lift the hips in a bridge and place the block. It needs to be there in the sacral, not in the lumbar area. Right? So you have to feel that bone resting on top of the block. And once you're there, you're gonna relax the arms. If this is too comfortable, you can also lift, right? Use the other heights of the block as well. Let's settle here. We are elevating the pelvic floor and the muscles, the bones, the center of energy, like the root chakra. When this chakra is not stable, we don't feel stable, we don't feel grounded. So let's bring attention here to this part of the body. Let's see how it feels. Gonna lift one leg, bringing the knee closer to the chest. We can grab it with one hand or both if you feel stable. Let's try the other leg as well. So when we stimulate one part of the body, when we focus on opening up one part of the body, what happens is that we allow not just blood flow, to circulate, but also the energy. The energy opens up and flows. So if we carry a lot of taboo around this part of the body, a technique like this will can really help you loosen up a little. And we're gonna lift both legs. If it doesn't feel safe, do it one at a time, right? Because it also gonna depend on your support. But we're working on restorative poses, so they need that support. But you can also, of course, do it without it. You won't be able to hold it that long. And that's why I think it's important to have something to support your back and the pelvic floor. Let's stay here for a little bit more. I'm looking at the timer, that's why I was tilting the head, but try to keep the head up. That way you don't add tension to your neck. Okay, and we're gonna lower one leg, the other if they were both in the air. Lift the hips, engaging glutes and thighs, remove that block. And we're gonna sit up for a wide angle seated forward bend pose. And here I also want to encourage you to use support for your head. Can be anything really. From a chair, a pillow. And we continue drawing the attention to the pelvic floor. It's an excellent position also to do as we enter into winter, because it stimulates the meridians related to the kidneys, the organ related to winter. But most importantly, today we're doing it to bring the awareness to the base of the spine, so we feel that stretch. this pelvic opening. And see how we feel here. How does the nervous system feels? If we feel anxious or any type of discomfort, probably because we are getting closer to meet one of our shadows. Right? So the recommendation from Yin Yoga is stay a little longer, see how you feel. And without forcing, of course, just breathing into that discomfort. And allowing it to pass through without getting stuck in your body. Good. Now we're gonna return. And you're gonna lay down for our relaxation. So I suggest to lay down facing up, separating feet and arms. Find a comfortable position, breathing deeply, feel yourself relaxing. And visualize walking through a quiet valley under a starry sky. In a place where you see a cave ahead of you, and something deep within you knows that you have to go in. So you step inside. So since ancient times, caves have been the place to enter and meditate, where you feel safe and protected. So feel the cool, damp air and the soft sounds of silence as you walk farther in. And soon you reach a quiet chamber within the heart of the cave, a place to sit and reflect and allow yourself to settle into this safe darkness where nothing can disturb you. Think of the life you want to create and notice what feelings arise. Is there excitement, doubts? And ask yourself, which areas of my life need transformation? And trust whatever comes up. And we're gonna sit in silence within our minds in this cave, connecting with the energy of a Scorpio that is calling us to transform ourselves. Let's start with one area at a time. So what area of our lives needs to be transformed? And now we're gonna finalize, stretching, lengthening, blinking softly. Okay, we're gonna do our last part together. It's a meditation, upon a mantra we normally do Today we're gonna use the Sare Sasa mantra that we used it in the past as a lotus flower blooming. Today we're gonna connect it with the energy of Scorpio and this energy that we tapped into in our practice, the serpentine motion of our inner power that goes up from the base of the spine to the top of the head, and then we go down with the fingertips pointing down. So you can follow me, you can read the mantra above me as well. So close your eyes. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 ram hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. Sa re sa 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 re sa 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 re sa 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 ram. Hare re hare 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 re hare 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 re hare 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 ram. All right, let's keep now the hands in front of the chest. We're gonna finalize our practice with a long Om to close our practice energetically. Take a deep breath in. So if you're ready to ditch the hamster wheel and start flowing with the rhythms of nature, you are in the right place. This is where you will find the 4 lunar yoga of the moonth, right, within a month. So subscribe to this channel, that way you know when they're gonna happen, and start to feel that connection with your inner voice in sync with nature. And if you want to dive deeper, you will have a lot more information in our website. I'm leaving it here. We're changing the website a little bit, so stay tuned and see you now on the Crescent Moon.